It's been a little while since I made one of these. So a little while ago, I mentioned offhand that in a capitalism, the environment and the earth will always inevitably lose. And I felt compelled to make a video to kind of elaborate on that. So the new budget was proposed not too long ago, and surprise, surprise, it guts funding for environmental protection. It's really not a huge shock, and it was said pretty explicitly that businesses must take precedent over the environment. And here I want to explain something. Because the environment has become this weirdly leftist term, I've specifically decided to call this video Life. Because that's really what the environment boils down to. We have fucked the environment up irreparably, and we will die because of it. A healthy Earth equals life. And note that I did not say if we fuck it up irreparably, because we have already. The science is in, and the proof of the pudding is in the water wars. We had our chance to stop pollution, to stop factory farming, to stop the drilling, to stop toxic emissions and dumping, to stop fracking, all of it. The time to change was decades ago. And we missed the window and we're fucked now. So okay, now that we're all good and depressed, how did we get here? Well, you can see the answer coming. I know you can, just wait for it. Money! Yes, the specter of money rears its ugly head once again. Here is why the earth cannot be anything but fucked in a capitalist system. Just as nature abhors a vacuum, capitalism abhors the environment. It hates it. Capitalism and the machinery thereof considers the environment and the earth a literal enemy. Why? Because it's free. Capitalism hates anything that's free. It hates anything that's public. It hates anything that's shared. It especially hates anything that poor people can enjoy without paying for. Capitalism wants everything to be owned or rented. Owned by the very rich, rented by the poor for high costs, preferably. But that's not necessarily why capitalism will kill the earth. It's the primary motivation, but it will kill the earth because capitalism must prefer the interests of business and money over the interests of literally everything else. What that really boils down to is capitalism wants giant businesses to be able to do anything they want, anything they can, to make astronomical fuck mounds of money. What stops businesses from making astronomical fuck mounds of money? Well, regulations. And a lot of regulations have to specifically be made when a business figures out some way to make astronomical fuck mounds of money at the expense of usually someone's health or the environment. Child labor is a really good example. I don't know if they still teach this shit at school, but child labor was bad. Child labor and extremely lax health and safety laws in the workplace caused the premature deaths and terrifying dismemberments of millions of children all around the planet. And in countries without regulations and enforcement, it still does today. So business practices that cut costs to help produce high yields or returns at the expense of health and safety and the environment, aka life, are typically regulated. But regulations can really only do so much because, again, it's not in the best interests of the state to punish businesses like that. And I mean, why is that? Well, because the state is run by assholes, and those assholes are run by money, and that money comes from businesses. Ergo, the state is always going to be rewarded for letting businesses do what they want. And that basically always means fuck the planet. Capitalism, the state, governments, and the little laws that they all make are incapable of preserving the health of our shared natural heritage, aka the earth, because, again, that's not in their best interest. I feel at this point kind of compelled to talk about representative government and how it's a pointless sham that can't actually represent any people, but I think that's honestly gonna have to wait because I'm fucking tired.